Hey guys, how's it going? Darcebius here with a new kind of set of videos I want to start doing called Zombie Fanboy. Just kind of looking at some of the artwork and flavour text and just some of the cards and things that just really piqued my interest and that have really kind of really made me stop and think, because there's so much beautiful art in Magic and there's so much kind of quirky humour and interesting things in the flavour text that it made me want to start doing a series of videos just looking at those. And the obvious name for it seemed to be Zombie Fanboy, which you can see the art posted up here. The art is by Matt, I'm Your Boy Cavotta, and obviously this is from the Unhinged set. Now you can see the card, that's the artwork. The card itself is here. Zombie Fanboy, it's a 3-drop, 2 in a swamp. It's a zombie gamer creature. A zombie fanboy comes into play. Choose an artist. Whenever a permanent by the chosen artist is put into the graveyard, put 2 1/1 counters on zombie fanboy. And the flavour text is the real advantage of being a zombie gamer: no one notices the stench. And the beautiful thing that you can see with a lot of the Unhinged cards, he's got his big stack of cards there, and they're kind of falling, and they're falling all the way out of the art frame and into the text box, which is kind of nice. Some of the cool things they did for the Unglued set. So basically, yeah, that's the art and that's the card. This kind of inspired me as a name for this kind of thing, and for me to look at some cards. So there's one, and let's kind of, yeah, that's kind of the title kind of card of this series. Before we get cracking with some of the random ones that I've picked, and I'm just going to do kind of 2 or 3 or a few more depending on how it's going each time I do these, and then just be as they come up in games and as I'm playing. So for instance, the first one is Protective Sphere. Now this came up on Sunday. I think we were playing with game of EDH. I've got this in my Orzhov black-white enchantments EDH deck, and it's a fantastic card. It's a 3-drop, 2 in a plains for an enchantment, and you pay 1 colourless mana and pay 1 life, and you can prevent all damage that will be dealt to you this turn by a source of your choice that shares a colour with the mana spent for the activation cost. And you can't prevent colourless damage, so artifacts are out. But that's not. It is an amazing card, and it's incredible, great for pillow fort stuff. And this combined with Sphere of Safety gets ridiculous. It makes it very difficult to attack or do damage. But that's not the point of why I'm talking about this card today. I want to talk about the art for this one, and the art is Rebecca Gay, Guay, and I'm again. If anything I say about the art in this, I'm never trying to take the mickey too much or to detract from the artwork, because I'm just having some fun with this, and I could never do anything like the art of any of the cards in Magic the Gathering, and I love all of the art, but I'm trying to have some fun, and I might poke a little bit of fun at this one, because I'm going to choose one that just some amusing things kind of popped into my head when I saw this. So first of all, the original thing I saw was Littlefinger from Game of Thrones in drag. Interesting. And then I was looking at the image a bit more, and it kind of looks like 2 ladies at the end of a night out. One's kind of passed out, the other one's desperately trying to hail a cab. It's just interesting. Or even with the kind of, you've got very kind of 80s what's it called, new romantic-y kind of crazy kind of get up. So it almost looks like she's kind of holding her hand up and saying, "No, I don't want to be in the Lost Boys. I don't want to be, bitten by Kiefer Sutherland or anything like that." It's just an interesting card. The card itself, playing is absolutely great. The artwork itself, just interesting. It is great. But just the tattoos and the gloves and the dress, is incredibly 90s in many ways, and it is from the Invasion set, so it's going to be it's from a while away, and it's just some good fun. So the next one we're going on to is Shanker, and here we have the kind of full art of the alternative promo which comes in the Khan's Tarkir intro deck for the Mardu one. Not such a huge fan of this. It is beautiful. I just, not that I don't like this. I prefer the main card art myself. But this is great, and the fact that it's interesting that you can really see that the Ankle Schenker is actually a kind of female goblin. It seems by the look of it and by some of the things that many other players have said. And that's not quite as obvious in the card itself. As you can see here, Ankle Schenker, she or he or they, whichever pronoun they prefer themselves, is just looking badass. Kind of reminds me of the bad guy from one of the Legend of Zelda games. I can't remember his name because I haven't played many Zelda games, and that is to my own shame and detriment. I appreciate. But Ankle Schenker, two colourless, forest. What am I talking about? That's not one of the few colours that's not on there. Two colourless, a mountain, plains, and swamp. There's a 5-drop for a Goblin Berserker. It's got haste, and whenever it attacks, creatures you control gain first strike and death touch until the end of the turn, which is just insane. Like, I know I'm really supposed to be talking about the art and the flavour and things, but this is just one of my favourite cards in Standard Legal at the moment. It's just bonkers. Unfortunately, it got pushed out of my Mardu standard deck at the moment because it moved more towards Butchers and Betrayal and Act of Treasons and Goblin Rabble Masters and tokens and all that sort of stuff, which made this a bit too expensive for it. But its effects are just nuts, and I look forward to having a Warriors and Berserkers deck, which is a bit more mid-range, a bit more able to handle this kind of mana cost. And the stature of the fighter matters less than the depth of the cut, as the flavour text. And the artwork for this one is Zoltan Boris. So yeah, thank you very much for that wonderful artwork and just epic card, because it's a beautiful thing, and yeah, I love this. I love this a lot. I love this. Yeah, it's just one of my favourite cards that's in Legal, because the concept as well, the fact that you have this diminutive goblin with a huge shiv ready to shank in the ankle and just do devastating amounts of pain, while other orcs and big things are trundling around them in the midst of battle. It's just a beautiful thing, and I just love it a lot. I think I will almost certainly talk about Ankle Schenker's great grandfather and mother in the Mardu Scout and another time, because that's got some great artwork too. But I'm trying to keep it to just a few cards per these are short little fluffy artworky things talking about Magic cards that I'm enjoying and just enjoying the view of. Which brings me to my last card, but last card it may be, but there are many forms of it. I think that's the last. Yes, that's that. So we're talking about Lava Axe. Not necessarily the most epically playable almost card, unless you're playing Epic Burn, or you can reduce the cost, because it's 4 and a mountain, so it's a 5-drop for 5 damage, which isn't too bad. So it first came around in 7th edition, I believe, with artwork from Ray Legault, or Legault, however we're pronouncing that. And we can see kind of like the axes being summoned kind of either from within themselves or just from the ether and being fired at the opponent. And that's when we have the great, one of my favourite flavour texts is just catch. It's not the idea of just throwing a flaming axe at someone and just shouting catch as it smacks them in the face, sets them on fire and splits them in two. What's not to love about that? And then next we have, obviously next to it, still with the flavour text catch, we have the Brian Snoddy artwork, which many of us will know a lot more, a lot better, because it's the one that gets reproduced the most. It's in current sets, and on sets is good old Lava Axe. And again we have catch there. So moving through, because one of the reasons I've chosen this card is the fact that this flavour text changes so much over such a long period of time, but it's still very kind of snappy, very pithy. It's kind of that kind of tongue-in-cheek humour which can get lost in some of the darkness and intrigue of some other things going on in Magic. So this is why I'm giving Lava Axe some special love. So can you continue here M11 still with the Brian Snoddy art, but now we have From the Heart of the Mountain into the Heart of the Mage. Not quite as fun, but I do like the fact that it's coming from the heart of the mountain, and it is striking the heart of the mage. That's the idea. Volcanic, fiery stuff, burning mages. Good times. And then we find ourselves in M12. Things change again. It could chop down a redwood in a single stroke. Your sternum isn't going to fare any better. Now that is some serious. That's a threat. Some cards just really know how to put across the viciousness, because 5, let's be fair, 5 damage is crazy. It's a common, it's a 5-drop. It's not something people love too much, but hey, it does what that's a quarter of your life total. If you're playing in standard, that's going to be doing a fair bit of damage, and it could chop down a redwood in a single stroke. Your sternum isn't going to fare any better. When people start naming anatomical parts of your body like the sternum with such kind of aggression, you know you're in trouble, and that's just a wonderful thing I like about that. So what do we have? We move on. What set? Where do we go with the star? Which is Starter 1999. Again, we're still Brian Snoddy. So we have meant to cut through the body and burn straight to the soul. Again, mean. Doesn't mess about, doing what it's supposed to do, and yeah, kicking ass and taking names, essentially. Next one we have another art. This is from the Portal expansion, and this is an Adrian Smith piece of artwork, which I'm quite excited about. I need to find more of Adrian Smith's art, because if it is the same Adrian Smith, which I presume it is, that does a lot of the Warhammer artwork, the artwork is just beautiful and insane, and I love it. So yeah, what do we have for the flavour text here? Swing your axe as a broom to sweep away the foe. Someone may have been playing Assassin's Creed or various other games. Obviously this is well before that. But it's again interesting. It has that kind of fun, pithy nature to it. Awesome scenes. Swing your axe as a broom to sweep away the foe. What's not a lot to love about that? And again, the Adrian Smith artwork. It's a lovely blue sky, and an epic kind of axe that looks like it's literally been carved or napped out of living fire in many ways, which is kind of a beautiful thing in itself. We go to the last couple of iterations here. We've got this one. Is from the Portal Second Age expansion, and it's artwork by Edward P. Beard Jr. And again, very different art to the one we're very used to. It's kind of seems to be either literally been dipped in lava or has been kind of emerged from lava in a kind of much more horrific, melty, burny Lady of the Lake type situation. Lady of the Burnt Face, more like. But yes, we have flavour text meant to cut through the body and burn straight to the soul. I think we had that with the previous one, but we have new artwork here, and it's awesome. You gotta love that kind of old school fantasy lava-y artwork. And that brings us all the way up to M14, and the edges and the lightness of the card maybe changes to M15, but the word and the flavour does not change at all. And this may possibly be my favourite. I'm finding it difficult to decide which is my favourite flavour text for Lava Axe, because there are so many classic ones out there. But a strict upgrade over the Cinder Hatchet. I love it. A strict upgrade over the Cinder Hatchet. Because obviously the Cinder Hatchet is a small, a small warm cutting weapon, opposed to the full-on Lava Axe itself. It's just great. And again, it's the old classic artwork from Brian Snoddy there. So we can see we've been on a journey with the Lava Axe. Originally, we wanted to catch the flaming axe, presumably in the face or the sternum, to cause the most amount of damage. Then we were coming from the heart of the mountain to the heart of the mage, and we were chopping down redwoods in a single stroke, so sternums were never going to fare better. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing here as we move through, save time, and obviously meant to cut through the body and harm and burn straight to the soul, and then swing your axe as a broom to sweep away the foe, up to, again, the meant to cut through the body and burn straight to the soul, and as we are now, a strict upgrade on the cinder hatchet. When I first read that, I genuinely giggled to myself. I haven't really played Lava Axe in a deck since probably kitchen table days, but I got a lot of love for it, and just seeing it pop up again and again with different bits of flavor text is just really fun, and it's something I just enjoy flavor text. I think sometimes when you open a booster, you kind of straight away go for what's the best thing in. You go for the rare and things that you might need. And you look at the art, you're like, oh, that's nice, but sometimes it's not until you're in the middle of a game or you have these moments between where you're just sort of perusing cards and sorting through cards, and you stop and look at the flavour text. And I really think the flavours are awesome. And Lava Axe, Lava Axe may have better flavour than it does necessarily in playability, because just looking on Gatherer, and I can see it has a community rating of 2.5 out of 5. Oh, 2.573. I didn't realise it went that specifically after 62 votes. But yeah, some great artwork, some great flavour text there. And again, just to quickly review the things we're looking at today. This is the new kind of video series I hope to do as often as possible, called Zombie Fanboy. Obviously based off the Zombie Fanboy artwork and card by Matt on your boy Kavota. And that's the card and the artwork there. Special mention to Protective Sphere, the drunken ladies trying to get a kebab, maybe even kind of shouting, "Oh, leave it, he's not worth it," while throwing up kind of a protective sphere on, I don't know, a drunken night in Dominaria or wherever they find themselves. And we've had the good old Anchor Shanker, which is just a beautiful, beautiful goblin that does some beautiful, beautiful stuff. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to keep it to sort of 2 or 3, 4 cards depending on how things go, and I may even have Sarah, the 14th Solon, and some of our local guys maybe come and talk about some of their favourite cards, because we got a lot of people that are very passionate about Magic, and there's lots of awesome cards out there, so I don't think we're going to run out of things to talk about anytime soon. But yeah, I think I'll end it there. This has been Darth Sebius with a Zombie Fanboy for Allies Index. AlliesIndex.com, a place for all things geeky gaming. Lots of tabletop, video games, card games, stuff on there, as well as videos, let's plays, all sorts of stuff, rumours and things, and we've got reports from CanCon, the big Australian gaming weekend and competition that a couple of our guys entered and represented Allies Index, doing some good stuff, and they got some amazing pictures of their games and some of the armies and stuff up there, as well as all sorts of stuff. And we are AlliesIndex.com, mainly based on Tumblr, but you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, I said again, all those places. And if you want to get involved, want to share anything, models, write-ups, rumours, let's plays, videos, your favourite cards, if there's cards you want to see me talk about on here, the things you flavour texts, or anything you'd like to see, or can just get hold of us, you can put a message in the comments or find us on AlliesIndex.com on Tumblr, and come check us out. And I've been Darth Sebius, the Zombie Fanboy, and I'll be catching you guys soon. Tally bye.